Now, he doesn't deserve any applause. He called with King Jack. If you read my poker strategy, I tell everyone, never overplay King Jack. Sam, you know that's the hand you cannot overplay.
If we play this show...
Maybach music.
There. Back to our feature table. And Phil Hellmuth. Hellmuth looks down at an 8. He has pocket 8s.
Oh no, I'm gonna do something here. This hand wasn't very good for me yesterday, though.
Let's think positive thoughts, my poker king.
Raised to 15,000.
Maybe today's a different day.
Today, like yesterday, Phil's face is on 12 million.
Phil's going down.
On to Adam Levy, Queen 10. He is a very powerful online player. People from all around the world log on to watch the guy they call Ruthless play.
Flop a straight or get a flush.
He skipped last year's World Series so he could be a camp counselor in Georgia.
The flop with these guys heads up, 9-6 Jack. Pair of 8s are still best for Hellmuth. Levy with an up and down straight draw.
Not the best flop for Phil to see, but he bets it.
20,000. Levy with the draw.
Yeah, why wouldn't he stick around with that straight draw?
I'll call. All right, so now the turn card.
8.
Turns an 8 of diamonds. Levy hits a straight, and that also gives Hellmuth a set.
That is an unfortunate card for Phil.
Phil checks.
He checks.
Phil's slow playing it, not realizing how much trouble he's in.
Levy will not slow play his straight. Bets 37,000. And Phil with a quick call.
Blank on the
A deuce on the river. Levy earns the check mark. He's got the straight.
It's a blank on the river, and Hellmuth's got to like his hand. Unfortunately for Phil, Adam Levy's got the nuts.
60.
60,000 from Phil Hellmuth.
Phil value bets it.
Yeah, the Queen 10 straight is just almost disguised with that board.
I'm not tricky enough to play Queen 10 this good, am I?
Levy's the one with the Queen 10.
Raise.
Levy announces raise up to 155,000.
Now that raise freezes Phil momentarily.
sinking feeling.
Let's see if he comes back over the top with his set.
Phil just with a call.
Queen 10.
Yeah, Levy with a Queen 10 and the win.
What's he going to say? He's going to stay up sick. That is sick.
Called a race with a... He called it.
He goes into this bitching sort of rant where he chastises the other player for not being a classical player or not playing it by the book. You know, in a game that's filled with bluffing and risks and, you know, being non-predictable is like part of the game. But he's like, oh, he called Queen 10. He called it.
The race with Queen 10, honey.
I know, honey. He's some online guy.
I had a set. He's supposed to bust me anyway. Called the race with a Queen 10.
No, you had a set on the turn.
You're not a player.
I think he's...
So in other words, the guy called your bluff, and he's upset by it. That's weak. Anyway, I've been playing like shit. I've been playing like shit. I've dropped 100 points. I think it's mostly because it was late. Oh, no, don't get me wrong. I've been playing like shit, but like it was also late, so I was tired. So I just gotta get on a winning streak here. I think today is a rest day for the chess championship. Magnus Carlsen, they have tied 8 times in a row. So why do I fall into this trap every time? Every time. It's not even close. This is a terrible opening. I mean, I've stacked pawn, down a pawn, doubled pawns. It's just utter shit. And now I'm just going to try to like limp into a loss. Here he comes. These guys are playing, you know, standard. This is just the standard moves for this guy every game. And I'm sitting there like, oh, I don't even know what's coming. Absolutely retarded. So, this is just unmitigated disaster. I put the gay in unmitigated. Oh. I mean, nothing. Just a fucking squadouche. It's sick. Okay. Just making moves. No rhyme or reason. I mean, utterly pointless. Pressure. Get out of this pin. Here comes this pawn. Uh-oh, he's hunting. Just run. And I'm losing on time. As if I needed more ways to lose. Just fucking makes me ill. Gross. There's nothing here. This has been a loss from the opening. Fucking gross. He doesn't take. Pointless. Why would I just lose a pawn? It's nothing here. This whole thing is nothing. Fucking worst game of my life. Absolutely nothing. Tripling up on it. He comes here. Nice. Revealed attack. Didn't work. Gosh darn it. Boom, boom, boom. Nothing. This is absolutely nothing. Come on. Shim out. Shim out. Shim out. Take a pawn back. Here he comes. Here he goes. He take. Oh, I slide up here. I'm sliding to your DMs. Backside? Backstreet's back alright? What the fuck? Late rally by Mr. Tracy? What? Oh, giving up the friggin' rook. Oh, that's why. He ain't giving up shit. And how did it? No, it's nothing. Pressure, 11 seconds. Clean. taking. Pressure. Pressure. I know. This is nice. Very nice. Oh, why? Unreal. Unreal. Oh my god. Fucking crazy. Tie. Whatever. I mean, that's the kind of shit, man. Ah. Okay. We're going ladies. Where are the ladies? Here they are.
We're in very rarefied air. Women with normal jobs are in very different situations than us. So I sort of feel very out of touch or arrogant even to talk about my fight for my pay, because I was in a very specific situation where I had a very real number. I had or arrogant even to talk about.
Let me stop you there. In fact, maybe you should have stopped yourself there, because you are out of touch.
Okay, let's get an intro in there.
Ask you to join me as I dissect the points these women tried to make in a gynecological fashion. Let's begin.
Let's stereo mix it. Drop it down to more like that.
Ask you to join me as I dissect the points these women tried to make in a gynecological fashion. Let's begin. In a gynecological fashion. Let's begin.
Okay. Now let's see how good my short-term memory is. Let me pop into the
my mind was open fire. You were the mountains burning away, burning away. Kept creeping closer still, but every outcome ended the same, ended the same. Help me.
It's kind of a catchy song. What's up, Paul? All right. And then I got to do a music video at the end of this. So let's see what
to
they're talking
talk about my fight for my pay, because I was in a very specific situation where I had a very real number. I had seen that Grey's Anatomy had grossed $3.7 billion over 15 years, and I could take that very real number and attribute my face and my voice. My hairdresser of 12 years, Thursday, in tears, walked off set because she did not feel like she was being compensated fairly for us shooting 3 episodes at one time, and she's only being paid to do 1 episode. Even though we struggle in our industries, we're struggling a lot less than, let's say, you know, people who are working normal jobs.
All right, I think I let her speak that whole thing, actually. Let's see.
The normal folk, the norm.
Yeah. All right.
The normal folk, the normies. Am I understanding this correctly? Are you laying the groundwork for a rant about how you are not being paid enough? Ellen Pompeo is the proud owner of a net worth of $40 million. Just so we're all clear, everyone who will ever watch this video, if we combined all of our resources, we wouldn't come close to that number. And yet, she is in this fucked up vortex of virtue signaling where, as a woman, a prominent woman, she feels it's her obligation to talk about the wage gap. And what do people talk about? You talk about what you know, especially when you're a narcissistic actress. So, she did mention her hairdresser and the plight that that poor woman is going through. But Ellen's going to talk about her trials and tribulations as a woman with $40 million. Apparently totally detached to how that's going to come across to the normies like us. Ellen, I would venture to say nobody cares. Not me. First of all, you will not be getting the Ben Shapiro Schindler's List treatment. This is not a tear-jerking performance. In fact, I will not be jerking anything to you, ever. Nevermore. Quoth the Raven. The Raven took part in No Fap November. No Fap November.
I get so petrified in this space talking about equal pay, especially when you look at
Intersectional has been brought up. That didn't take long. This is Gina.
the intersectional aspect of it, right? Right.
Rodriguez. And she's going to let you know that she's a person of color and a woman. That's the intersection. An intersection I'd like to avoid. Now, she is the proud owner of $5 million in her bank if she were to liquidate $5 million bucks. Now, Gina Rodriguez wants to be very, very special. She's an actress. Again, I've never seen her perform. But let's see, what makes her special? Well, she could talk about what she does, her acting ability, the projects she comes up with,
There's
maybe
a boxing...
the screenplay she's writing. No, that's too hard. Let's go with something basic. Okay, what kind of genitals you got? And what color is your skin? Roll with that. Can you imagine if I came out here as a YouTuber and was like, hey, audience, hey, people that I don't know, but I'm trying to entertain, be impressed with the following information. I'm a man, and I'm white. Is that good enough? How special does that make me? Not impressed? Oh, I actually have to do something? Oh, that sucks.
Oops.
That sucks.
Where white women get paid more than black women, and black women get paid more than Asian women get paid more than Latino women.
Latinos are at the bottom, and black women get paid more than Asian women? How did that work? I dispute those numbers. But they don't get paid more, they earn more. Earn. That's an active verb. They don't get handouts. These people look at the entire wage gap. I can't believe I'm talking about the wage gap. These people look at the wage gap situation the way biologists used to look at a giraffe's neck before Darwin came along. And they thought, I guess the giraffes grew their necks to reach those leaves up in the tall trees. they were thinking about it in the entirely wrong, backward way. Men and women earn what they earn based on what they do and what they demand and the negotiations of salaries. It is about supply and demand, it is about the free market, and it is about the law of the jungle. Nobody's going to give you anything, especially not based on your race or gender. Wake up, grow up, welcome to the real world. Grow up, welcome to the real world.
Women, and it's like a very scary space. An Asian women get paid more than Latino.
Wait,
Sorry. May just walked in.
Paid more than Latino women.
wait, Latinos?
That was crazy.
Paid more than Latino women.
Wait,
That woman just saw me naked. Unbelievable. For her, it must have been unbelievable.
welcome to the real world.
And it's like a very scary space to step into, because I always feel like I fail when I speak about it, because I can't help but feel already so gracious to do what I do.
But it's grateful that you were looking for. You don't feel gracious to do what you do, unless you want to stroke your own vulva for no apparent reason. And yes, if I had my own TV show and was a successful working actress, knowing that only like 0.1% of people that try to do this succeed at the level you're succeeding at, yeah, I would be gracious as well.
See if I can bump the volume on this so that it's comparable to my volume. Let's see if that would do it.
And I feel like culturally, I was raised to just feel so appreciative of getting here. Recently being faced with being offered a project. Getting here.
Oh no, oh no, no. Oh no, this can't be true.
Recently being faced with being offered a project where my fellow actress was offered it prior, and she tells me how much she was getting paid for it. And then I ask for the same amount, and they say no, because you're not worth that much.
Oh no, oh no, 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 this can't be true. Wait a minute. They offered a different actress something more than they offered you? What kind of a job does she think Hollywood is? It is all about marketability and name recognition. If your brand is unknown, then people aren't going to watch. If I hear, hey, Gina Rodriguez is starring in something, well, I don't know Gina Rodriguez. Me, never seen her once. The name means nothing to me. If you say Scarlett Johansson is doing something, oh, I know her. I like her. I will watch this project. Is this hard to understand? But did you hear how she said it? She's not worth something. So once again, this is a bunch of vapid narcissists yenta-ing it up about whether or not they're worth the world. I need everyone else to just constantly validate me and tell me how much I'm worth. Oh yes, I'm a multimillionaire, but shouldn't I have more millions? I mean, am I not worth that?
As she was, because she's bigger than I am. But it's the same job. It's the same amount of hours, the same movie.
The same job as the same amount of hours? That is not how the movies or television works. Can you possibly be that naive? It's the same amount of hours. Yeah, really? Well, the garbage man works the same amount of hours as that CEO does. But they don't get paid the same? That doesn't seem fair.
And bigger by what standard? Let's
Exactly.
keep it all the
And
way
then-
100.
but that-
Well, probably the people who are paying the money. So, like the board of directors, the president.
That's what I'm
bigger by what standard, and
saying.
who determined that standard?
You know?
Of the company, the experts whose job it is to make these calculated risks.
Because let's be like, I'm gonna brag on you for a second. You're the only show on a whole ass network where your show has had critical acclaim. You've been not only nominated, you've won. So, on worth by whose standards?
Bigger by what standard? Bigger by the standard of logic and common sense, a track record. Do you think Leonardo DiCaprio
You know what I mean?
made
If you
more money
wanna go by social
after
media,
he was
you're
in
killing that.
Titanic and Titanic was the success it was? Oh, but how do we know Leonardo DiCaprio was a bigger actor after that film? Well, everyone knew him, so that's one way.
The street, and without being recognized and loved by all different kinds of people, that's you too. So, worth based on what? On what?
Who decides who's a bigger star than other people? Who moves the needle more than others? I mean,
Not sure what I say next, so let's find out.
This is Gabrielle Union. I don't know what she's doing now. She was
By who can't walk down the street and without being recognized and loved by all different kinds of people, that's you too. So, worth based on what?
is Gabrielle Union. She's a black actress who, I don't know what she's doing now. She was in a couple movies back in the day. She used to be just the sort of resident black piece of ass in the film. And now she's morphing into, I don't know, whatever this is. And she owns $16 million. Do you? I don't. 16 mil. She's bitching. Go ahead.
Let's just pop that in real quick. Got the super fast internet here at this hotel, which is a pleasure. Makes working on stuff like this very effortless and enjoyable. Now let's cut that little stupid intro and let's cut to the close-up. There it is. That makes sense. And then let's see if this would make sense if I put this here.
more than others. I mean,
By their standards, they have the money, they make the decisions.
Well, they make the decisions.
yeah. They have Q ratings or whatever else they think they have, but some things aren't quantifiable. It's a challenging space to talk about.
And
Well, why don't you be her agent and fight for her to...
Oh, fucking hell. Okay, now I realize I fucked everything.
I'm gonna brag on you for a second. You're the only show on a whole ass network where your show has had critical acclaim.
Bigger by what standard? Bigger by...
Yeah, I fucked it entirely.
All the way
then-
100.
but that's
Like
what
bigger
I'm
by what standard,
saying.
and who determined that standard?
Well, probably the people who are paying the money. So, like, the board of directors make these calculated risks.
Because let's be like,
All right. It doesn't make sense, but I'm going to do it like this. Everybody move back.
Has had critical acclaim.
This is Gabrielle.
Okay.
You've been not only nominated, you've won. So, on worth by whose standard?
By their standards, they have the money, they make the decisions.
It's very confusing now.
You know what I mean? If you want to go by social media, you're killing that. You want to go by who can't walk down the street and without being recognized and loved by all different kinds of people, that's you too. So worth.
All right, so then this would make sense there.
Worth based on what?
Well, why don't you be her agent and fight for her to make more money?
Who decides?
Okay, and then I come in with explaining to Ellen again who decides. And what is this? This is just Gabrielle Union. Okay. So that needs to slide all the way back here, no?
Critical acclaim.
This is Gab.
Exactly. Gabaret Sidibe.
I mean, how many times are they going to ask this question? The people who you have to convince, the studios, the analytics. Look at the numbers. We're not just going to make it rain on top of you with millions of dollars because you want to feel good about yourself. Sorry.
Yeah. They have Q ratings or whatever else they think they have, but some things aren't quantifiable.
That's worthy of a comment. Let's see what I said.
Yeah, some of these girls just have that it factor, and it's obviously a guessing game, and it is subjective. But these people are not happy. They're all multimillionaires who are complaining that they're not even richer. And they think this is going to go over well. What audience looks at this and goes, yeah, this is some real oppression here.
It's a challenging space to talk about.
And you feel like a jackass, right? So,
Yeah.
But it's all relative. So you feel like.
Yeah. Yeah, you feel like a jackass.
Good reason, Gabrielle, for a very good reason. Do you notice that they're trying to sort of remain tethered to reality? You know, I do feel sort of out of touch and a little bit smug and kind of like a jackass for saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Say it anyway.
You feel like a jackass. You feel like you should just be grateful and be quiet because it's. And be quiet because it's
or gracious
more than others, right?
And it's more than I've ever.
More than I've ever
especially
made.
low income family. Yeah.
Normal people. It's more than the normals, so yeah.
So it's like, lady, stop it. But at the same time, when those lists come out, when Forbes drops the top paid actresses in television, the top paid actresses in film, and
not one of the top. You're not one of the top paid actresses in film? There must be a mistake. There must be a mistake. I demand a recount. Or are you going to turn this racial? I mean, there has to be a reason why you aren't one of the top paid actresses. Oh, you're sitting next to the top paid actress, and she can't be better than you. I mean, you're younger than her, you're hotter than her, right? More talented? So there's got to be some reason. The gap between you and her in terms of net worth, let's fill that gap with something. I got an idea. How about racism? Go.